Once again, Joan Laporta wants to revolutionize Football Club Barcelona. Will this be his greatest challenge yet? Welcome back to Blaugrana Planet, welcome back to a new video, and today we are going to be talking about Joan Laporta's revolution, as he has now compromised by publicly declaring that the new era of Football Club Barcelona needs to begin right now, as the latest cycle has been finished. But before, let me give a special thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this channel. OneFootball is the best football app that you're gonna be able to find, in which you're gonna get the latest stats, the latest facts, the latest opinions, basically everything that you need to know about the world of football. You're gonna find it in OneFootball. Also, if you wanna get the latest news of Football Club Barcelona, don't doubt it. Go and download the OneFootball app using my link in the description. And if you do, you're gonna be supporting my channel and I will be very grateful. So what are you waiting for? Go and download it right now. So as of right now, we know that Joan Laporta has made big renovations in the past, and now he is being called to do a new renovation, and this could be the greatest renovation that he has ever done. So together with Mateu Alemany, the sports director that he appointed, they are working on a plan which is gonna be basically in reducing the salaries. That's a key point. Also reducing the members in the squad, so having a more reduced squad. All of this together with some additions from La Masia in order to create a sustainable team, and a team that's young enough in order to achieve greatness in the present and in the future. Basically what Joan Laporta is trying to do is getting rid of those big earners who aren't performing on the pitch. I mean, if you earn a lot of money but you perform in the pitch and that salary is justified, then it's okay. Players such as Messi. But there are other players, such as Umtiti for example. He earns a staggering 12 million euros per season and he does nothing pretty much, so that's a dead weight on the bench right there. And basically Barcelona is trying to get rid of those kind of players. Although despite the very ambitious plan, it's not gonna be so easy to complete, because just the fact that the salaries are immense. So when you want to sell a player that still has a contract, at this point the player is going to try his best to get a better deal or an equal deal in another club. But if that is not the case, then the player is gonna want to stay in Barcelona, where he gets a good amount of money for doing pretty much nothing. So I think that's gonna be the great challenge of Joan Laporta, is actually seeing how the puzzle is gonna be addressed and having good contacts with a lot of agents which are gonna be actually transferring those players out of Football Club Barcelona. So to start calling up names, I want to start with the players that are actually gonna be staying in Football Club Barcelona, these so-called untouchables. And these players are Ter Stegen, Araujo, Mingueza, De Jong, Pedri, Ilaix Moriba, Ansu Fati, and of course, Lionel Messi. All of those are indisputable pieces of the future of Football Club Barcelona, except Lionel Messi, who is gonna have to guide those players to greatness and obviously teach them all the things that he has learned in his very juicy career. And of course, they believe that Leo Messi is gonna be staying in the club. They have full faith, not only because the new president has arrived, but also because they see that things have changed in the dressing room. There's not so much negativity anymore, not to say none. Basically, Leo Messi is a different person. Under Bartomeu, Leo Messi was sad and didn't see a future. Now with Laporta, things are bright, and Leo Messi has most probably changed his mind. But of course, he's gonna want to stay under a great renovation that can actually get the team going and be competing in the present and in the future. So Joan Laporta has a great challenge, and in fact, he wants to get rid of a lot of players. These are the players that Joan Laporta is looking to get rid of this summer. Players such as Neto, Umtiti, Pjanic, Junior Firpo, Coutinho, Mateus, Griezmann, Braithwaite and Ousmane Dembélé. Obviously, not all of them are going to be leaving. As I said, the big wages that those players earn and the money that the club wants to earn in the transfer fees is not going to be easy, right? So all of this is just a project. I assume that at least 3 or 4 players are going to be exiting, and players that have big names. Because these players that I just mentioned are just the additionals, right? We have the core players that have been with us for the last decade. Players such as Jordi Alba, Busquets, Sergi Roberto, Gerard Piqué. Basically, those players earn a big amount of money. And some of them are being determinant. Players such as Jordi Alba and Busquets, as I said in other videos. But Piqué's knee is not ready for a big season. And Sergi Roberto, sadly, has had really bad seasons overall. Obviously, we know that Sergio Roberto has been a patch. He's a pure midfielder, converted into a right back, even played as a center back, as a forward. At the end of the day, his pace is not in Football Club Barcelona. Laporta is going to try to get rid of the players that I mentioned, plus some core players. And also, in terms of Ousmane Dembélé, for example, Ousmane Dembélé ends his contract next season, and Ousmane Dembélé costed tons of money for Football Club Barcelona. Therefore, they're putting him on the market right now, but they really want him to continue. They want him to renew his contract. But if Ousmane Dembélé doesn't want to renew, obviously we're gonna have to try to get rid of him now as we can, get some money from the transfer fee. And also, Antoine Griezmann, we know he has had a good season overall, but he earns too much money. He earns around 20 million euros per season. That means he really needs to be determinant on the field. I understand that he has done a better season than the previous one, but it's just not enough yet. And the club is spending so much money on a player that somebody else that earns maybe a quarter or half can provide possibly the same results. That's the logics that Laporta is using in order to make a cleanup in Football Club Barcelona, because the salaries are just not sustainable. And in terms of the players from La Masia, if for example Ronald Koeman stays, some players that are not getting minutes are gonna have to go on loan. For example, Riqui Puig. At this point, Riqui Puig hasn't solidified in the first team, right? And his value, his market value, is going to be decreasing if he doesn't get minutes. Therefore, the logical thing would be to loan Riqui Puig if he's not going to get minutes. I mean, if we get another coach and he promises Laporta that Riqui Puig is going to have minutes, then he can stay. But if we don't have a coach that believes in Riqui Puig, at least in the short term, then Riqui Puig should go on loan where he can get minutes and expand as a player. And a lot of football players from La Masia are going to have to do the same thing, because at the end of the day, you need to get minutes, to get experience, to grow as a player, and also to grow in value, right? In case Barcelona cannot keep the player in the future because he just doesn't fit, then we can get good money in the transfer market. And finally, there are some players that Barcelona at the moment doesn't know what to do. For example, Serginho Dest, young player, still not exploding as we were expecting. Trincao, same thing. At the end of the day, we need to find a situation for the players, or we need to give them another chance to see how they develop, or they're gonna have to go. At the end of the day, we need players that can be performing and that can work for Barcelona. We cannot hold the player giving him too many chances. Another example is Clement Lenglet. I think that the overall opinion on Lenglet is that he should stay because he's irregular, but he has something there, right? But if a good offer arrives, obviously we're gonna get rid of Lenglet. So overall, this is the plan that Joan Laporta has in mind. He wants a revolution, but the revolution needs to be solid, right? Needs to happen, really happen. And that's just not gonna be easy. And also, not only departures, also arrivals. So far, we know that El Kun Agüero and Eric Garcia are going to be arriving for sure to Football Club Barcelona. This is the information that I have. And at the end of the day, there are other players, for example, Emerson. I really think that Emerson da Sousa, also called Emerson Royal, should be joining Football Club Barcelona. It fits very well in the position. If we get rid of Sergi Roberto, Emerson should come. And also, in terms of Haaland, it's the main objective of Joan Laporta, but now that Borussia Dortmund has qualified for the Champions League next year, it is very difficult that Haaland leaves the club, Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, he was desperate to leave the club, Borussia Dortmund, if they weren't qualifying for the Champions League, but now that they did, it's going to be very difficult also to negotiate with Borussia. Therefore, Laporta has preferred to wait until next season, see how things develop. We already have a contact with Mino Raiola, we already have a contact with Alfie Haaland, therefore we are possibly a very good club for Haaland. So this was the resume of Laporta's plan. At the end of the day, all the numbers have to fit, and as I said, it's gonna be a big challenge, but Joan Laporta has done it before and he will do it again, I am 100% sure. And maybe now that the COVID situation, the economical situation is very bad, maybe it might take a little longer or it's gonna be a greater of a challenge. But have full faith in Joan Laporta, because there hasn't been a time where Joan Laporta has failed in a renovation. And in fact, all the renovations that he has carried have been very successful. For example, the very first one, where he brought Ronaldinho, he brought Rijkaard, it was very successful. And then the renovation where Pep Guardiola arrived and some other players such as Dani Alves, Piqué, that was the second renovation that Joan Laporta carried. And now we are looking into the third renovation. So believe in Joan Laporta, guys. And now I'm looking forward also to what you guys have to say. What do you think about this renovation? What's the renovation that you would take on? Let me know all in the comments down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the likes and subscribe. Important to subscribe and hit the notifications bell if you want to be notified as soon as I release my next video. Now, and as I always say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video.